I'm Malloy. I review things. I'm still looking for a tagline. Well, summer's here. The sun is shining. Probably don't need this for a few more days. Being generous. Weeks. Maybe. So now, I just want to relax, put my paws up, and enjoy a really good film. To celebrate the fact that it's this amazing weather we're having, and the fact that it's absolutely hot as blazes, I'm thinking golden beaches, blue skies, gentle, relaxing water. What's on the agenda for today? Baywatch.
Welcome to Baywatch.
Oh, where do I even begin with this one? First and foremost, let's get straight to the point. I am not a Baywatch fan. You can probably tell I'm not exactly the target audience for that particular show. I fully admit that I cannot remember on a single occasion ever watching an entire episode of Baywatch. This show was absolutely everywhere. It was synonymous with American culture in the early and mid and late 90s. An entire decade was devoted to these beautiful people gyrating and walloping about on the beach in the sun in America. And people must have watched it because this show was on for 10 years, between 1989 and 1999, and then for 2 years when it was rebooted as Baywatch Hawaii, before finally dying and leaving our screens in 2001. And then 16 years later, Paramount Pictures decided, you know what? People want Baywatch back! And oh boy, they delivered.
Come on, Pete, make my pecs a little bigger. And don't cover up my front bump.
You got it. Huge dick.
Big dick.
Released in May 2017 by Paramount Pictures, Baywatch stars Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron, with cameo appearances by David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson, two of the original big stars from the original TV series. This film was directed by Seth Gordon, who directed several episodes of The Office, Modern Family and Parks and Recreation, but was also the director of the film Identity Thief starring Charlie Sheen and Melissa McCarthy, which currently has a 19% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and was also one of the executive producers of that amazing comedy Pixels. Because if you couldn't kill Adam Sandler's career, you're damn sure gonna give it a try with Dwayne Johnson. This film also went through 7 production companies, and my god, there is no clearer indicator that your film is gonna be bad when you have to watch 7 different production logos before you get to the bleeding movie. That's a bad sign, and we've not even started yet. So honestly, I've just got to ask the question, who was asking for a Baywatch movie? This film took me 2 separate occasions to watch. I actually fell asleep during the first movie, and I'm actually not fully convinced that the second time I watched it, I didn't actually make it up in my head as some sort of bizarre fever dream I was having. This film is an absolutely atrocious ride from start to finish. The first 10 minutes are literally fat material to show you how awesome Dwayne Johnson is. He's running across the beach, he's saving people without a care in the world, he's literally putting everyone else to shame, and every single guy he goes by, they are just thinking, I am not going to ever be as manly as Dwayne Johnson. Like, seriously Dwayne, you've been in good movies, you've had a really decent career, and you're continuing to appear in some really good movies. Why did you need your ego polishing with this movie? I will freely admit as well that Zac Efron and me, we've not always seen eye to eye. The scars of High School Musical truly do run deep. But, to be fair to him, he's really not the worst thing in this movie. Actor Abdul Yahya Mateen II stars in this movie, as well as Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron. Who's he, you might ask? Well, in the same year that Baywatch debuted, he was given an actual good movie to appear in. He was the main villain in Aquaman. And isn't that telling? This guy has got more dignity playing a supervillain with a fishbowl on his head that shoots laser beams out of his eyes than he actually has playing this character in this movie. I don't actually understand what his character is in this movie. He plays Sergeant Ellaby, your local beat cop protecting the beach, even though they've got Dwayne Johnson, so why the hell they need anyone else other than Dwayne Johnson at this point, your guess is as good as mine, who has a rivalry with Dwayne Johnson's character Mitch over, I guess, the fact that he's hotter? Maybe he got declined by him at some point prior to the movie. Maybe he got turned down and going out on a date. Either that, the only other thing I can imagine is that this guy seems to have this weirdly sort of racial element against Dwayne Johnson. And the fact that he himself is an African-American character and actor, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know why they're going down this weird sort of racial angle, but you can tell that that was what they were trying to do. It just comes across as bizarre.
Thank you, Blue-Eyed Demon. You got one job. Make sure swim-happy white people don't drown.
Speaking about wasting talent, as I mentioned before, this movie has got cameos. Particularly, 2 cameos in particular from David Hasselhoff himself and Pamela Anderson. They're really not much to scream home about. They're really not. David Hasselhoff gets the slightly meatier cameo in that he appears as a hallucinogenic dream sequence to Dwayne Johnson to motivate his character when he's at his lowest ebb. I mentioned fever dreams earlier. I think it's slightly contagious. They don't really explain who he is or what relationship he has with Mitch, Dwayne Johnson's character. Of course, David Hasselhoff played the original Mitch in the original TV series. I just don't think that's where they were going with this. For all I know, this is just Dwayne Johnson's imaginary friend coming out to talk to him, to motivate him and stop him from killing people. That's my theory anyway. And the less said about Pamela Anderson's cameo, oh boy, where do I even start with this? Well, as it turns out, they decided to end this movie on a cameo from Pamela Anderson, presumably playing the same character that she appeared in the original TV series, but trust me, that is an absolute stretch at best. What does Pamela Anderson contribute to this movie? She sort of wanders on at the end, sort of gyrates a bit, looking like she's completely off her head on Quaaludes, and then the movie ends.
Is it just me or is she...
In super slow motion.
Yeah. Wow, this is gonna take a while.
That's how we roll.
I never thought I'd say this, but Pam, you were more dignified when you were in Stripperella. You were more dignified when you were in Barbed Wire. I would really like to know how much they paid you to be in this movie, because my god, I don't think you can appear in films again after this. They clearly were really proud about the fact that Pamela Anderson agreed to cameo in this new Baywatch, and they did absolutely nothing with her. She looks like a bag lady that they've just dragged onto the set to sort of give a wacky / old style laughing into the credits. They referenced the reboot that they did, the Baywatch Hawaii. I guess that's to make people go and watch the old show? Or put them off watching it forever? Beyond the acting and the god-awful story, and the fact that this movie should not have any reason at all to exist, there are so many things wrong with this movie, and yes, I am going to list them. First and foremost, considering the fact that there was clearly money spent on this, the CGI is one of the most atrocious things I have ever seen. I have seen asylum movies with better graphics and better effects than this pile of crap. There is a genuine scene about halfway through the movie where the team of lifeguards have to go and rescue a bunch of people from a boat that is on fire in the middle of the ocean. The fire effects, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't actually think words are justice enough to describe how god-awful these effects are. Now, obviously I didn't watch the original TV series, but I seem to remember it mostly focused on the drama and the romantic elements. Baywatch the movie likes to think that it's funny. It markets itself as a comedy. I was trying to laugh through the tears. In particular, this movie has got no idea what it wants to be. There is so many examples of genuinely gross, juvenile, puerile humour that it honestly doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it's aiming for its more adult audience with its comedy, featuring exploding bodies and actual dead bodies dripping body fat into people's mouths.
It's not a distributor. It's just a little dead man's fat. Necrotic liquid fat. Now will you stop being a baby?
That's it. I'm out.
Overall, would I recommend this movie? No. The fact that this movie exists offends me in every single fibre of my being. But if you really want to torture yourselves, it's on Netflix. I'm Malloy. I review bad movies. We'll see if that tagline still lasts. Bye! So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please like, subscribe and share. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you didn't like it. Honestly, whatever happens, this is all about fun. And if reviewing terrible products like Baywatch is fun to you, then trust me, I am prepared to die on that hill for your entertainment. Mwah!